Hi, coming right up, your grip, your shoulder, cool water, and of course Ask Barb on helpmysquashgame.com. And welcome back to helpmysquashgame.com, and let's look at the grip today, because if you're not holding the racket correctly, you don't have choice. So I want you to pay attention to the grip. We've replaced it the last couple of sessions, so let's make sure that it's correct. See the V of your hand? I want it on the inside edge of your racket, the side that's closest to your body. Whether you're left-handed or right-handed, this will work. The other thing is, I need your hands spread. So the fingers are spread. We're not looking at a fist. We're looking at a spread hand. So if I was playing with my left hand, it would look like that. So now the next thing is, you've got to be able to keep your body in top shape. And I want to look at stretching your shoulders today. Now let's look at a really useful shoulder stretch. Most of the time when you've been training, you've been doing lots of stuff like push-ups, which makes the front of your body, the pecs, very tight. And in order to have good shoulder health when you're playing squash, you need to be able to stretch it. So the first thing you want to do is find a doorway or something like that. Put your elbow above your shoulder. And then what you're going to do is lean forward into it. So you can already start to feel the stretch in the shoulder. And then to add a bit, you're just going to rotate a little bit and hold it. This is nothing violent. It's done gently. And you hold it for between 15 and 30 seconds. Just hold it. Finding that stretch. And then at the end of it, you're going to look to do this maybe 3 times a week, and don't forget to do the other arm. Even though you feel like you're not using it, please make sure you stretch both. Well, I found something amazing. You have to check this out. So Joey, tell me about this water.
Well, this water is called GPA Sport Water, and it's been around since April of 2011. It's a very, very unique product. In that it comes in a 710 milliliter bottle. It's a pH and alkaline based water. Our pH level is about 7.4. So it's a water that helps counteract or neutralize lactic acid buildup in a person's body. So this water it's been around just for over a year, so we're expanding pretty quickly. We're at over 400 stores in the GTA area. So we're growing at a rapidly pace. So right now our water is one of these waters where you can drink it, you can chug it if need be. You can chug all 710 milliliters, and you won't get that bloated, heavy feeling that you get from a lot of other things. You know, people like to drink things really quickly to get that instant gratification, but with GPA Sport Water, you can chug it and not get that bloated, heavy feeling, and it helps get the hydration a lot quicker than most waters. So this water is something that everyone should try. It's fairly cheap, 710 milliliters, tax-free, and give it a whirl. And you told me something about hospitals. What was that? Yeah, absolutely. In hospitals, a third of our ownership team works at St. Joe's Hospital in Hamilton, and they've been given some funding to start using this as saline hospital in the testing phases. They've also been using this in the transportation and liver and lung transplants. They soak it in GPA Sport Water and helps use the longevity of the lungs and liver transplants.
Wow, so if it's good for your lungs and it's good for soaking your organs, for sure it's got to be good to take. Thank you, Joey.
Thank you.
A very cool product. And now it's time for Ask Barb.
Hi Barb. I've been in a number of tournaments through my life, and during those tournaments we often get to a 2-2 situation. I'm about to start the 5th game. We're tied up. What should I have in my head?
Andrew, what a great question. 2-all. Now, there are a number of variables when you say 2-all. First of all, who got to 2 first? Now, if I've got to 2 first and my opponent has caught up to 2-all, my mindset could be very different to if I'm doing the catching up. So let's deal with the first scenario. 2-all, I was at 2 first, my opponent's catching up, so the momentum is with them. I always say to myself, I have nothing to lose. So when I go out now, I'm going to try really hard to be on the ball early, to hit some really useful length that goes to the back of the court, and I'm going to try very, very hard not to let the ball go by me. All right? I'm not necessarily going to look for lots of winners, but I am going to be looking to force my opponent into the back of the courts so that when they present me with something loose, I feel safe to try and hit a winner from it. I need to get out in front early. And what I mean by that is I want to try and make the first 4 or 5 rallies really tough, and I want to win them. So I'm coming out of the gate like a lioness, ready to eat. Now, let's look at it the other way. If I now am 2-all, and I'm the one that's done all the catching up, the momentum is so much with me that again I've got to maintain that momentum as I go into the next game. So if I'm serving now at the start of that game, I want to make sure that I really get on top of my opponent. I want them to look at me and go, oh my God, there is no hope. So again, I'm looking to hit a decent serve. I'm looking to stay in front, and I'm looking to make sure that I volley every ball I can. I will probably be a little more adventurous in terms of the shots that I make. So whatever I've been doing in the 2 previous games, I'm going to try and maintain. Now in both scenarios, the one thing I want you to look for is look for change in your opponent. Your opponent, you will probably come across this. Your opponent will suddenly change. Sometimes they can give up, or they can feel like they have no chance. As soon as you see that, as soon as you see them not pushing quite so hard, that's when you push harder. The other trick I would remind you of is this. If it feels that hard to you, it'll feel hard to your opponent. The difference is, when you're winning, you always seem to have more energy. So convince yourself to play point by point by point by point. Try not to think of the past. Keep going point by point. And if you're winning, pay attention to your serve. Pay attention to your return of serve if you lose a point, because you want that momentum with you. All right? But more than anything else, believe in yourself, be strong, and be prepared to push and guts it out. You've got to give just a little bit more than they do. This is Barb Cooper from helpmysquashgame.com, wishing you well.